Asun rice is one of those dishes that we think we already know or understand until we taste that particular one that shows us that the flavor profile can be very different. Now in today's video, I'll be showing you how to make the perfect Asun rice that is balanced, rich and deeply aromatic. I'll also be sharing some tips and tricks that will help you get your Asun rice recipe every single time. My name is Ehi and you're welcome to my kitchen. When making Asun rice, the first thing I do is cut my raw goat meat into bite sizes. Now some people like to pre-cook their goat meat first before chopping it into bite sizes, or even fry it first, but this is just preference for me. I feel like it saves me time because cutting it into bite sizes helps it to cook faster, so whichever one works for you is fine. Now you want to season that goat meat perfectly. Just season it as much as you can, because the deeper the flavor of the goat meat, the better the flavor of your rice. Now you know how we do here. After seasoning, you want to mix that all up, cover up and allow this simmer on low heat until it produces its own juice like this. At this point, you can decide to add some water just so that it cooks through properly. Please, when making Asun rice, don't go and buy female goat, buy male goats, because the female goat doesn't cook quickly. Now once the goat meat is properly cooked, the next thing you want to do is fry your goat meat. Now you can do this with some vegetable oil or any other cooking oil of choice, or even in your air fryer or oven if you are trying to eat healthy. Personally, I like to fry my goat meat with a mixture of butter and vegetable oil. I feel like it just amplifies the flavor, and trust me, if you try it my way, you will thank me, no cap. Now once you are done frying or grilling the goat's meat, the next step is the cooking of the rice proper. Please, you don't want your goat's meat too fried or too dried. You just want it to be properly fried. And you see this oil that you use in frying the goat's meat, if you decided to fry your goat's meat, you do not want to throw it away. You want to preserve it. That's why I'm showing you every detail in this video. So what you want to do is basically just sift the oil to take out any debris that is probably in it. If you have the time, you can actually use a tiny kitchen sieve to just do this into another pot, but I was just doing the lazy man style in this video. Now after sifting, you want to take out just a little bit of the oil and then add your onions. Of course, you want to season in layers as usual, and you want to just saute that for a bit before adding in some chopped pepper. Once the pepper and onion have fried for a bit and they've released some flavors of the oil, you want to add your properly washed rice and some goat meat seasoning, and then you just want to toast this to perfection. See, you want to wash your rice properly, like Jesus washed your sins away. You want to wash it so that there is no starch left in it. You can use any rice of choice, but I'm using basmati rice in this video. And also the goat meat seasoning is a step that you do not want to miss because it amplifies the flavor of the rice. You also want to add your goat meat stock and some water to cover the top of the rice. Mix that thoroughly till everything combines. Cover this up and allow it cook on medium low heat. If you feel like you need to adjust your seasoning at this point, please do. After about 15 to 20 minutes, the rice should be properly cooked depending on the type of rice that you are using. So you just want to fluff it out nicely before you take it off the heat. Now this is where all the magic happens. You see that oil that we used to fry our goat meat, you want to put it at this point. If you grilled your goat meat, there should be some oil in your oven tray as well. So you also want to put that in there and maybe add a little bit of butter. Add some onion, some seasoning and some scotch bonnet pepper for flavor, and then you just want to saute that for a bit before adding in your chopped tatashe. Please, when you're making Asun rice, if you want it to bang, do not put tomatoes. Tomatoes has no place in your Asun rice. Now after your tatashe is properly fried, you want to add your properly fried goat meat Asun at this point. Add a little bit of your goat meat stock, mix that to perfection and let this simmer on low heat for about 3 to 5 minutes before adding in your pre-cooked rice. You want to mix till it looks like this. Can you see how the grains are standing one? The depth of flavor in this rice cannot be reckoned with. Sometimes I like to garnish mine with some curry leaves, or you can opt to use some chopped scent leaves depending on your mood or preference. Let me know what you think about this recipe in the comments. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Bye.